Hello everybody, welcome to the Java learning course. So in this course, I just want to say that first, uh, it is not very tough as you think to learn Java. And then if you are thinking it is tough, this video should help you to understand that it is pretty much easy. And then we will go ahead with the real concepts with real hands-on, and you will get to learn each and everything for Java. And the course is designed in such a way that it is helpful for people who are learning Java for the first time, and also for people who are in manual testing for a long time and they fear that Java or learning Java is very tough. So I will tell you why in this video, and then we will go ahead with the real concepts. As I said, can I learn? Is it easy? Let me ask you one simple thing. Okay. Do you understand what a college is? So if you know what a college is, then you can learn Java for sure. And it is as simple as that. Now let us understand how a college runs first and then see what happens. Okay. So what do you have in a college? You consider that college is there, and then there are these different entities present in a college. Like you will have a staff who are the people teach the students, and then there are different departments because every college has different departments like computer science, electronics, mechanical. I'm talking about engineering college. You will have students who will be learning, and in each college there are events conducted, and then you will have a library where you have a lot of books. People can, or students can, collect the books and then read there everything. And they also have sports, and they also have classrooms. I hope you understand all this so far. Staff. So now let's look at staff. So when you talk about staff, how do you identify each staff member? For example, you have a staff of a person who is teaching us computer science and data structures as one subject. Maybe somebody who is teaching us C programming language. Maybe somebody who is teaching us Java programming language. So like this, each staff can be identified, right? So let's see how each staff member can be identified. Okay, first you need a name. You need to know what is the age. You need to know what is the gender of the staff, and then what specialization. So that is what I was saying, whether it is computer science and data structures, or C programming, or Java programming, or there is some other subjects in the college, right? So, and then to which department, whether they are belonging to computer science department, or mechanical department, or triple E department, or electronics, right? There are different departments, civil department, all these things. And then whether the particular person is a teaching staff or a non-teaching staff, right? So these are some of the attributes based on which you will identify one single staff member. Okay. So can we represent each staff member by assigning different values to these attributes? Yeah. So any person, if you can get the values for these attributes, I think you will represent a real staff member, right? Now let us see what a staff member can do and what do we get out of it. So now we can represent a staff member by encapsulating attributes and their functions. So what I'm saying here is, now we identified a staff member. How or what are the behaviors of this particular staff member? Like what are the responsibilities of this particular staff member? The staff member can either mentor, that is teaching, right? And then they can invigilate during the exams, and then they can correct the papers that you actually write for the exams. So we are categorizing them for each staff member, that they have these attributes and they have the functions. Okay. So if you see, I have put a, if you see, I have put a box here on the left side, right? And I can consider this as a template, and then using this template, and if I assign some values to these particular things, then you can consider that it is a real staff member, like a real physical staff member, right? Now, let us give some values and see. For example, the name is Srinivas Putnuru and he is specialized in data structures. His age is 37. He is a male staff, he is a teaching staff, and is from a computer science department. Okay. So I have just assigned some values to this template which is on the left side so that we get a real person. Okay. And he also does the functions or the behavior of this staff member is he will mentor, he will invigilate, he will do exam corrections, and there may be many more functions. Okay, I just put some basic functions so that we can get along with it. Okay, so you might be surprised that you didn't even know that you have learned some basic concepts in Java. So let us see how it is related to Java, right? So what we did here, we have a small box which tells how do you identify a staff member. We have some attributes, we have some functions assigned to it. And this is a template to make a real person by assigning some values. That is exactly what is called a class in Java. So what is a class? A class is something that you represent any entity in form of a template. So here our entity is a staff member. And what is the template here? You are segregating two things. One is how do you identify a staff member and what are the functions it does. And when you assign some values to these attributes, it becomes a real person. What do you mean by real person in Java? It is creating an object from a class. Okay. So the first thing is you have a template, and for that template you assign some values and you have some behavior in form of functions, and you create a real person, that is an object from a template or a class. So this is how you basically create a class. So class is a template and object is basically when you assign some real values to represent a real entity value or a real person in this case is called as creating an object in Java. So now one more thing here. When we are assigning some values to these attributes, if you see there are different types of values you are assigning. When you come to name, it is just a normal literal alphabets. It is also called strings. Okay, and if you see age, it is a numeral value. It is like 37. And there is something else called teaching staff, whether you want to be defining the person as a teaching staff or not. So that is like a yes or no kind of a thing, and that is called as a boolean in Java. So if you see the way you're representing each value is called data type. So if you have only characters or something, right, it is something called a string in Java. That is one data type. If you have only numbers, right, then it is an integer in Java. And if you want to put some yes or no kind of a thing, it is called a boolean value. So now if you see, these are some of the basic data types in Java. And when I say string, it doesn't mean only alphabets. It can be a mix of alphabets and numbers and special characters, right? So that is all string. So in string, you can basically put anything. Now you understand that you can put different types of values based on the type of the attribute. So when you say attribute, it is equivalent to a variable in Java. So, so just to summarize, there are three concepts that we understood. The first one is a class. That is the thing you're seeing on the left side in the box. It is called templatizing, also called as class in Java. And what are you having as part of a template or a class? You have list of attributes, and then you also have list of functions that particular staff member can do. So that is called class. Now how do you create an object out of it? You assign some values to these individual attributes and you make it as a real person or a real staff member, and that is called object in class. Now to these attributes, if you see, there are different types of values that you're assigning. Some are strings, some are numbers, some are booleans. And these kinds of values is called data types. So the attributes or the variables in Java hold different types of values based on what data type you have assigned to those variables. So this is how simple it is to learn some basic concepts in Java. And we'll go to a practical session now, and then we will get started. So I think this will help you to get started pretty much easily. Thank you.